This is a call to action. I would like to see change, and I would like to see it start within our communities, start within our households, start within our marriages, start within how we raise our children, start within the music that we listen to, start within the seeds that we plant within our own culture and our own community in terms of how we regard each other and esteem each other. Start with us supporting more black businesses and building each other up instead of tearing each other down. We will deal with other black people in a way that is far less patient and supportive and caring than we will deal with someone who's outside of our race. It is self-hatred. It is hatred of our own people that has been passed down to us from slave masters. Willie Lynch wanted us to have strife within each other because he said that's how you be able to sleep safely at night, because there were far more slaves than there was the master. And the slaves were powerful people. So in order to keep the slaves subdued so that the slave masters wouldn't have to worry about any uprisings, they mentally brainwashed the slaves. They pit old against young, light against dark, man against women, so that instead of us coming together, we would be divided. And that's how we fall. Slave mentality that we are continuing to exhibit. Time for it to change. Time for it to end. Time for us to do the healing on ourselves. Slave mentality. Men being forced to sleep with multiple women. They would take the strapping mandingos, the big, burly black men, put them in cages and have them to sleep with multiple women to impregnate those women. And then your children were taken away from you, and sold into slavery somewhere else. So it was a condition to become emotionally detached from those children that you're giving birth to and the women that you're sleeping with. Because if you had a wife, a lot of times they would take your wife or sell you separately from where they sold your love. You have no chance to get back in touch with your love. Or you had to watch your love being raped by the slave master. There was a lot of things in slavery that caused a divide in us and that caused very negative behavior that we still exhibit today. It's time for us to educate ourselves on those mentalities that are still destroying our communities, and it's time for us to make changes. No, I'm not saying this for there's a lot of changes that need to happen. There's changes that need to happen from outside of our community. There's laws that need to be changed. There's practices that need to be examined. There's probably some criteria that needs to change in terms of how do people get selected to become police officers. Since race is an issue and a concern, that needs to be something that's more selectively screened in the process of hiring police officers. That's something that needs to change. There's a lot of things that need to change that are outside of the community, for sure. That is, I'm not sitting here saying that other things don't need to change. But what I'm saying is, when we look at all the things that we can do to bring change for the better, we also have to look at ourselves. And when we look at ourselves, are there things that we can do as a people to be a better people? Not to say, are there things that we can do to prevent ourselves from getting shot? I'm certainly not saying that. That's like saying that a woman who was dressed seductively ask to be raped. No matter how seductively a woman is dressed, she has no right to be raped. No matter how we act as a people, no matter whether or not we have our issues of killing each other, does that give us the right to be killed? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying here, people. What I'm saying is, as I review all the things that we can do to bring about the change that we want to see as a people, we have to also look at ourselves. And these are some of the things that we definitely need to work on.